The power of small steps. Every morning at 6 o'clock, Maya sat down at her small wooden desk. Outside her window, the city was still dark, calm, and quiet. Her friends thought she was crazy to wake up so early every single day. They often asked her how she stayed so disciplined, but Maya always smiled and gave the same simple answer. Consistency is always easier than intensity. When Maya first decided to learn a new skill, she tried to study for 5 full hours every weekend. By Sunday night, she felt completely exhausted and frustrated. She remembered very little of what she had studied, and during the week, she did not touch her books at all. One evening, after a particularly discouraging weekend, her grandfather sat down beside her. He held out an old wooden hourglass filled with fine golden sand. If you're finding your flow with today's session, subscribe to the Story Shadow. Check out our other content and join the conversation in the comments. He told her that life does not change in one massive, heroic moment of effort. Instead, life changes like the sand in the glass, one single grain at a time, every single day. The next day, Maya changed her strategy completely. She stopped trying to conquer massive tasks in one sitting. Instead, she committed to spending just 20 minutes every morning practicing her skill. No matter how tired she felt, no matter how busy her schedule became, she protected those 20 minutes. Some days, her progress felt so small that it seemed almost invisible to the naked eye. She often wondered if such tiny efforts really mattered in the long run. There were mornings when her warm bed felt far too comfortable, and the temptation to press the snooze button was overwhelming. She had moments of deep self-doubt, where she questioned whether 20 minutes could ever truly compete with someone who practiced for hours on end. Yet, whenever those doubts crept into her mind, she pictured the sand falling softly through her grandfather's hourglass. She reminded herself that a single grain seems insignificant on its own, but over time, thousands of grains create something substantial.
She also learned to embrace the quiet stillness of those early morning hours. While the rest of the world was sleeping, her desk became a sanctuary of focused quiet. She stopped comparing her journey to the fast progress of others online. Instead, she focused entirely on beating the person she was yesterday. Months passed quietly. Maya kept showing up every single morning. She did not wait for motivation to strike. She simply sat down at her desk and did the work. On rainy mornings, on cold winter days, and even on mornings when she felt completely uninspired, she completed her daily ritual without excuses. Over time, something remarkable began to happen. The 20 minutes no longer felt like a chore or a strict duty. They became the most peaceful, rewarding part of her day. The skill that once felt foreign, confusing, and difficult started to feel entirely natural. Patterns became obvious, concepts connected effortlessly, and her confidence quietly grew behind the scenes. She realized that by removing the pressure to accomplish everything at once, she had given herself the mental room to actually learn, absorb, and master the material. Small victories began to stack up silently. She noticed her understanding expanding, her speed increasing, and her problem-solving becoming much sharper. What used to take her hours of frustrating struggle now took only minutes of calm, steady execution. Every single page she turned, every exercise she completed, and every single note she wrote was another grain of sand falling into place. She realized that the hardest part of any journey is not the difficulty of the task itself, but the mental battle to begin. Once her pen touched the paper, the fear faded away. Action replaced anxiety, and momentum took over. She learned to trust the process, knowing that small, repeatable actions always beat irregular bursts of hard work. As the seasons changed, her morning routine became second nature. The dark winter mornings turned into bright spring dawns, but her routine remained untouched. People around her started to notice subtle changes in the way she spoke and approached challenges. She seemed calmer, more organized, and far more capable, yet she had not made any grand announcements about her goals. Her progress spoke for itself through her actions. One day, nearly a full year later, Maya faced a major challenge at work that required the exact skills she had been practicing in silence. A complex project had fallen apart at the last minute, and her team was in a state of panic. Without hesitation, Maya stepped forward, took a deep breath, and handled the task with calm, steady confidence. Her colleagues were astonished by her expertise and asked her when she had found the time to master such a complex discipline. She simply smiled, remembering the quiet mornings, the golden sand, and the decision to never skip a single day. Maya looked back at the hundreds of quiet mornings she had spent at her small wooden desk. She realized that she had not achieved success through one heroic effort. She had succeeded because she chose to show up, stay patient, and be consistent every single day. Big dreams are not built in a single day of intense effort, they are built through hundreds of ordinary days joined together by steady, quiet commitment.
If you're finding your flow with today's session, subscribe to the Story Shadow. Check out our other content and join the conversation in the comments.